Welcome to Armand Bayou Nature Center, one of the largest urban wilderness preserves in the United States. Please take a few minutes to acquaint yourself with the history, ecology, and things to see and do during your visit. The history of the land of the center dates back to over 14,000 years ago, when this area was inhabited by Native Americans, including the Arcoquizas. These Native Americans used the Middle Bayou area for hunting and fishing until the early 1800s. At this time, Europeans began to build homes and farms on this land. By the 1830s, the Native American tribes had become extinct from the area. The history of the center itself began in the 1960s. It became apparent to a number of environmental leaders that if some large tracts of wild land in Harris County were not preserved, all this land would be lost to development. The area along what was then called Middle Bayou was recognized as one of the best preserved pieces of wild land remaining. Not only was this land relatively untouched by humans, it also contained three distinct ecosystems: coastal tallgrass prairie, tidal stream of Armand Bayou, and coastal flatwoods forest. The movement to preserve the land of Middle Bayou, now Armand Bayou, began with Armand Irmadegui. Mr. Irmadegui was a visionary of Texas Gulf Coast wilderness conservation who initiated the drive to preserve Armand Bayou and the surrounding lands. This movement accelerated after Mr. Irmadegui's death in 1970, when plans to begin real estate development along Middle Bayou became known. During this period, Middle Bayou was renamed Armand Bayou in remembrance of Mr. Irmadegui and his conservation efforts. The Nature Center was incorporated in 1974 on land acquired through the efforts of a diverse coalition of individuals, organizations, and government entities. Today, the Nature Center contains 2,500 acres of native habitats. The land is owned by Harris County. Armand Bayou Nature Center, however, is fully responsible for the funding, management, and preservation. The Nature Center is a private, not-for-profit 501c3 institution and is entirely supported by admissions, program fees, memberships, and donations. Armand Bayou Nature Center is committed to reconnecting people with nature through its mission of preserving native habitat and wildlife and improving man's understanding of his environment through education. The Center's stewardship programs ensure the endangered habitats are protected and preserved for generations to come. These habitats not only provide examples of environmental stewardship best practices, they also provide living classrooms for the Center's educational programs. Through the educational programs, visitors learn about the environment, its plant and animal inhabitants, and the importance of preservation of these gifts. Additionally, these programs teach visitors how to become good environmental stewards and how to incorporate stewardship practices into their daily lives. Visitors to Armand Bayou Nature Center have many experiences to choose from. The center core is composed of the Discovery Loop, the Martin Farm, and the hiking trails. The Discovery Loop is an outdoor educational classroom composed of live animal exhibits, interpretive signs, and teaching platforms. The loop allows the casual visitor to learn about the habitats and inhabitants of Armand Bayou Nature Center. The Martin Farm is representative of a Texas farm in the late 1800s, complete with antique farm equipment, carpenters and blacksmith shops, barn, windmill, flower and vegetable gardens, and a home, the Hanson House. The Martin Farm is named after Jimmy Martin. In 1879, his family purchased 83 acres of land, which is now part of the Nature Center. The Hanson House was built around 1895 on Galveston Bay and was donated to the Nature Center in 1982. The Hanson House was moved to the center by truck and barge. Each year, the history of the land and farming traditions are celebrated at Armand Bayou Nature Center with the Martin Farm Fall Festival. Armand Bayou Nature Center maintains over 5 miles of hiking trails. The forest trails include the marten, ladybird, and karankawa. The trails begin near the interpretive building, guide you through beautiful hardwood forests, and lead to overlooks of Armand Bayou. The hiking trail and Discovery Loop map are located near the interpretive building at the trailhead for the Ladybird, Karankawa, and Marten trails. The Prairie Trail is a short half-mile loop which leads through one of the rarest remaining Texas habitats, the coastal tallgrass prairie. This is a teaching trail which includes interpretive signage, a demonstration prairie garden, and a prairie observation platform. Visitors can take a self-guided tour of the center or participate in guided walking tours. Canoeing and pontoon boat eco-tours of Armand Bayou are also available by reservation. Stop by the Visitor Center to make reservations before you leave. Here you'll find additional information on supporting the Nature Center through volunteering, memberships, or participation in educational or stewardship programs. Scientists recognize habitat loss as the single biggest threat to our environment. Armand Bayou Nature Center is a refuge for a number of species for which finding a place to live is becoming increasingly difficult. Today, Armand Bayou Nature Center continues the legacy of our founders by maintaining this living museum and sharing it with you.